Hi there, Scorpio. How are you? It's me, Anissa, from the Inner Stereo, and I'm back again doing your mid-September 2018 readings. So as usual, this is going to be a relationship spread, and you could always apply with any who. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, fiance, friends, neighbor, mother-in-law, mother, family, anywho. I'm basically just going to pick up your relationship energy in general, okay? Make sure you will check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, though, because I tend to realize, though, with my readings, I resonate much more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign, okay? So, yeah, so how are you guys doing right now, Scorpio? By the way, this reading is going to be from the 18th of September until the, 30 September 2018, okay? Okay. So, you know what? I feel like, every time I do a reading for a Scorpio, or for water signs in general, it's very, very hard for me to shuffle and to get it out of you. Because it's kind of like, is your nature, with my father especially. My father is a Scorpio. He's kind of like, he's not secretive though, but he's just like very, very close off. So although he seems like he's very, very extrovert, he's very social, he's very open, like he is like the wise man in the family, where people will kind of like run to him for advices and everything. But when it comes to him and confronting him about his emotional things, it's very, very hard for me to get it out of him. Until someday there's like an emotional outburst. Then I would know that, oh, okay, so at that time you were pissed at me. And sometimes that I always feel when I'm doing your reading, it's very, very hard for me to shuffle and get things out from you. But anyway, your overall energy for the now, you have the Eight of Swords in reverse, and you also have the Four of Swords. And then you have the Three of Cups. So you guys are kind of like coming out of a period where you felt like you're being mentally imprisoned, where the thing about the swords things, the Eight of Swords is not really a beautiful place to live in, especially for a water signs like you. For water dominant people, I'm a water dominant, I'm moon dominant. So it's not really, really a very, very healthy place to live in, because we are being surrounded by our thoughts. Not knowing where to escape, not knowing exactly which way is out and which way is in. Basically because we're focusing too much on our cerebral, on our mind. The thing about a water sign is that you guys are equipped or heavily blessed with an intuition that no one could ever, challenge. My dad's intuition is on point the whole damn time. I have Mars in Scorpio, but him, like, his instinct when he sees like a bad person, like it's on point. Like it's there for a reason. And I feel like if you guys keep getting stuck on your thoughts, try to listen to your heart. Try to listen always to your instinct. Okay, so you're getting out of that period of mental prisons. You have the Three of Cups in here. So you do have like a lot of either family or friends that are always there for you to support. I feel like right now in the month of September, you guys are feeling like much more social. So you want to kind of like mingle out more. You're looking for a relationship where you felt like you want to be a best friend and also a lovers at the same time. So it's not all lovey-dovey and emotionals the whole damn time, but you're also needing someone who is always there for you as your emotional support, and who is always going to be there for you through thick and thin. Basically, if you kill someone, that person is going to bury the body together with you. I know I have a Mars in Scorpio. Loyalty means everything for me. And also you have the Four of Swords. So you guys are kind of like already realizing that all the thoughts that you've been prisoning yourself into is not worth a penny. It's not worthy for you to keep overthinking over stuff. So now you're kind of like, nope, I'm not having it. I just want to have fun. I just want to enjoy the company of everyone who loves me. And I want a relationship where, I felt love and supported. So what's challenging you? You have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. If this talks about your past person that you've been dealing with, it still is very hard for you to let go of unwavering devotions and loyalty that you have towards someone. And the second one is you have the Hierophant card. Somebody in this relationship is quite non-committal or cannot deliver their promise, if that makes sense. The Hierophant, I always feel like the Hierophant is like, for a Scorpio, promise is something that is mighty and holy, and you need to stick to it, right? Like if you promise me something, you need to fucking deliver because you promised it. You judge a man by their words the whole damn time. And I feel you. And I feel like it's very, very hard for you, and you kind of like sense it, that you are dealing with someone who is unable to keep that promise going. If you're dealing with a new person, it could also talk about, the other party actually still cannot let go of their unwavering devotions and loyalty that they have towards someone else. So that's why they're being non-committal, because they cannot let go of someone else. And it's kind of like, is a little bit greedy, don't you think? So in the past, this person is the karma card in reverse. So they're kind of like wishy-washy. The karma card in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot would be the judgment card, meaning that it's like a very, very definite and decisive. Like, yes, I want you. Yes, I do not want you. Yes, I'm going to put in the effort. Yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to promise you this. And I'm going to deliver what I promised to you. Something like that. And I feel like you guys are kind of like, grrr on the inside, because you feel deep down inside that this person is kind of like quite wishy-washy with you and indecisive about what is it that they want out of the relationship with you. And they also have the Four of Cups. So they could be quite rejecting your advances. And this just pisses you off, you know, that period of wishy-washiness, the period of indecisiveness, it's pisses you off. The Emperor card in my Japanese tarot is being symbolized by the War card, because it symbolizes the overprotective feeling that you felt. Every time you felt attacked, you guys are very, very protective. Like, it's fucking war if you hurt this part of me, and that's how you felt in the past. So I feel like you guys had that kind of like emotional outburst in the past, because you felt like, you know what, in the past I actually gave you something that was a very, very selfless thing. The Page of Cups in a traditional Rider-Waite Tarot is the first fish that the other person, that the man caught, and he's willing to give it to someone. So it's like a mix of a selfless one, a genuine one, and it's also a mix of kind of like a boastful one, boastful way. But still, you know, the Page of Cups is a very, very selfless one. It's like you know, have you ever thought about the thing that you did for your first love? That you're willing to extend, bend your spine backwards until, you know, it snapped or whatever. The things that you did in your first love before you get hurt, how selfless and genuine you are. And I feel like that's how you felt in the past. You felt like you already gave this person your all. You kind of like want to scream at them that, do you know that doing this much is actually means a thing, because I've never done this to anyone else. And it kind of like pisses you off because the wishy-washiness of them. Yep, and then you have the Ten of Swords here. But it's not meant to be, you know, with the Wheel of the Year here, kind of like clarifying the Ten of Swords. It's not kind of like meant to be. It's either the timing is not right, the circumstances is not right, the universe or God actually loves you so much that he doesn't want you to give your all towards someone who doesn't want to appreciate what you got to give. See beneath your beautiful, would you let me? They're not changing. I mean, they do exercise like a lot of patience when it comes to dealing with you, but when it comes to you guys wanting to get a decision out of their mouth, a decision from their actions, is not going to happen in the now. Why? Because they're indecisive. They're closing off the heart chakra so much. It's a good one, you know, Scorpio. The thing that I do with my father is that every time I know I did something unintentionally that bugs him, I kind of like confront him. I'm really sorry. Like, I know you don't like it. Because if I don't do that, I mean, cross-watchers, if you know that you did something that a Scorpio doesn't like, and you don't say sorry straight away, and you're going to have to be dealing with it like a month later when they kind of like take it in and they couldn't hold it in any longer. Okay? And this is what happens exactly when a Scorpio has been pissed. When a Scorpio no longer trusts you, this is what happens. This is what happens when they gave you all this, they sacrifices a lot, and you're being unappreciative about what they extending to you. This is what happens. The Emperor card in reverse and also the Page of Swords. You need to kind of like learn the signs before you go dating people, cross-watchers. I'm not talking to you, Scorpios. I'm just talking to cross-watchers, okay? With the Page of Swords here, it talks about, you know, the Page of Swords in this particular deck of mine is my orphan of the deck, meaning that this person is being very, very skeptical, does have trust issues for a good reason. It's because it's like your form of protections. It's like your self-defense mechanism because you don't want to get hurt, right? And I feel like, with Pisces, every time they get hurt, they can escape. With Cancer, every time they get hurt, they can kind of like climb in back into their shells. With you guys, when you get hurt, what can you do? You just sting. Because that's your self-defense mechanism. You couldn't kind of like crawl back into your shells and lick your wounds and until everything is all right like a Cancer would. You guys would sting because that's just the nature of a Scorpio, and it's very, very natural, And they're kind of like exercising a lot of patience with you. They still, like right now, like although they kind of like wishy-washy and everything, they're the type of people who likes to buy time, if that makes sense. So let's do it and see what happens. And you guys are not buying that stuff. You Scorpios are much more, are you in or are you out? I'm not buying things in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle. Okay, but this person is much more like, I'm going to see what happens, and then in the future we'll decide. Like right now, we're just going to be doing things, and in the future, we'll get to decide what happens, right? But you guys are no longer interested in doing those kind of like stuff because you have the Empress card in reverse in here, meaning that you're no longer willing to bend your spine. You're no longer willing to put the effort and be the center of their own universe. Right now, you guys are very, very skeptical. You do have a trust issues, and you don't have any problems right now to unleash that volcano that is erupting deep within you. Okay, so the good part about it is that Scorpio, what you're doing is not going to end up in vain. I feel like you also kind of like want to cut off this person. This person is, as I said, you kind of like want to cut off this person. And I do feel that there's like a little bit of a stalking behavior going on in here because of the trust issues that you're having in here. The more bad information or the confirmation, bad information that confirms your belief that you get, the more it kind of like satisfies you in some ways that you're doing the right thing by kind of like cutting them off and being mean towards them. But it will come out all right in the future. Why? Because in the future, yeah, I feel like in the future, you guys are going to have like a new offer on the table that is going to make you feel like this Ace of Cups. Whereas the past person, this person is still here. Again, they're being very, very, very wishy-washy. They're like 60% checking out, but also 40% still want to figure out what is going to happen if they stick around with you. But then you will have like a new offer on the table. It could be like an earth sign, people, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or it could also mean that this person is very, very grounded. This person is much more different than the person that you've been dealing with in the past. Why? Because Pentacles people, they don't talk much. They do stuff, and that's what you appreciate the more. So rather than you kind of like boasting and promising things that you don't have any intentions on keeping, you would rather keep your actions upright. So that's what you're expecting. And I feel like in the future, you guys are going to have that beautiful offer. Someone who is already very, very financially stable, someone who is already kind of like secure. They're going to be like, I'm not going to say timid, but they're conventional in some way. So if you're dealing with a woman, this woman, she doesn't really do drugs. She doesn't really party. She's more like a homebody, but she's very, very, like a Virgo type of person who is like methodological, who knows exactly what they want. But the thing about the Queen of Pentacles is that this person is actually already looking for a mate. So this person is actually ready to meet this person, the King of Pentacles. And it could get like a little bit of frustrating for you if you happen to be a woman and you're dealing with a man. Because the Queen of Pentacles is not someone who's charging. It's not someone who is charging, not like the King of Wands who is charging and very, very boastful and will approach you in a very, very confident and boastful ways. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is much more, passive in some way. So if you do have like an offer coming in the future, coming from someone who is like that, you need to be the one who's calling the shots. You need to be the one who kind of like pursues them, because it's not their nature to chase. It's just not their nature to chase. No matter how hard you try to push it, it's not their nature to chase. So in the future, I feel, because you learn your lessons of what was happening in the past, about how you guys were so selfless and genuine when it comes to love and everything like that. Although you do feel this Ace of Cups, this beautiful flowing of emotions, creativities, inspirations, where you felt very, very much love, where you felt like, oh my God, I love you so, so much. You guys are still going to take this stance, the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a card, is a very, very calculative one, meaning that it's actually what both of you are going to be doing, though, because this person is ready to settle. You guys, you do have trust issues. So both of you are going to do like a heavy, heavy stalking, heavy detective works, like Sherlock Holmes, because you and the other party trying to make sure if they are actually worth the risk, if they're actually worth your time, your money, your investment, and everything that is. But it is actually. It's the Ace of Pentacles, and then you also have the Four of Wands. So it's actually really, really looking good. But again, because it's Ace of Pentacles, it's like a door of opportunities that the universe is giving to you. The Ace of Pentacles is a start to build the Ten of Pentacles. So it does need a lot of hard work like this. It does need a lot of hard work like this. And you're going to be dealing with a lot of your shadow side. So you need to kind of fight off your shadow side. The shadow side is, the trust issues, the insecurities that you feel towards you and everything like that. You need to kind of deal with that shadow side of you. But if you're willing to work things through to that, it's going to end up being very, very beautiful. And again, because this is an Ace of Pentacles, it's a door of opportunities that, is being handed to you by the universe. And you cannot be a passive player in the sense. So if you want to grab this chance, this 2 weeks to come is actually good opportunities for you to find love. I mean, don't come at me in October saying that I didn't get the offer when all you do is stay at home. You also need to be the active participant. Because by the end of September, you are going to get this beautiful offer in the future, but you need to be the active participant as well. Okay, so it's actually looking very beautiful for you. Love is definitely on the horizon. It's actually something that you want, but there's going to be you guys are no longer going to be as selfless, as genuine as you were in the past, but it's fine, because it's your, as your way of protecting your heart. It's fine. Okay, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed my reading, Scorpio. Thank you so much for listening, and bye-bye.